this is Manin Rabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatupula. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini and this is FBC News. Tonight, Prime Minister pays surprise visit to Help for Homes applicants. Trade Minister Fayaz Koya meets his New Zealand counterpart on PACER Plus negotiations. And Labour Ministry awaits report on Manohan building. First tonight, the Nandi Airport modernisation project will exceed its budget by $20 million. Airports Fiji Limited Chair Faiz Khan has announced that this has been caused by factors beyond their control. Madhim Boletamana with this report.
The first phase of the departure check-in area is starting to take form. But well over a year after work started, Airports Fiji Limited Chairman Faiz Khan is activating AFL's 4% contingency.
Due to certain prolongations that have taken place outside of control of the parties, in many instances, there has been an increase in budget. And the budget as it stands today, from $105 million, it has gone up to $125 million.
Khan says AFL will absorb the additional $20 million without outside help. One of the greatest challenges contractors face every day is having to contend with an airport that's never stopped running.
But we want to construct something that is going to be great, but at the same time we cannot compromise operations because the Fijian economy relies largely on Nandi International Airport for passengers to come in and out internationally.
In the next 3 months, this will be the new departure check-in area, while construction works will then proceed to the current departure check-in area.
You'll have your feed screen. Feed screen is the ones that's going to show you the flight times, the departure times, and of course this beautiful look with the ceiling.
The Nandi International Airport Modernisation Plan is expected to be complete by March 2017. Madhim Boletamana, FBC News.
Prime Minister Varange Bainimarama has stressed that the Help for Home initiative is only for tropical cyclone Winston victims. Shireen Shivan reports some people who do not qualify for the assistance are coming in to apply.
Prime Minister Varange Bainimarama paid a surprise visit to the Fiji National Council for Disabled Persons this morning, where people gathered up in large numbers to register for the government's Help for Home initiative. Bainimarama himself wanted to ensure that things are running smoothly.
Some concerns raised by one of the members of the public from Koro that some of the homes there have been out of action or have been destroyed for the last 20-30 years, but have been resurrected through this process. And we've sent out a warning, of course, that people have to be very aware of it.
The initiative will provide financial assistance for families to rebuild their homes, and Bainimarama is warning people not to abuse the system. Recipients are given cards which they can use at 10 hardware outlets.
This program is to assist the people who have been affected by the Hurricane Winston. And there's a lot of money put aside for this, and we should come together to make sure that this money is well spent and not abused by some people who think they may get away with it.
Around $70 million has been set aside for the initiative beginning Monday. Anyone found cheating or abusing the scheme will face the full force of the law. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
A 39-year-old Deumba man charged with the death of a 14-year-old Mary Alievu earlier this year now faces 24 counts. This includes 10 counts of abduction, 12 counts of rape, and 1 count each of indecent assault and murder. Joshua Zola Naundolo appeared in the Suva High Court this morning and is expected to take a plea on the 27th of this month. The court has set a trial date from 1st to the 12th of May 2017. The accused has been further remanded in custody. Well, people who owe money won't get away scot-free just because Data Bureau is being closed and their credit history is being locked away. The Consumer Council of Fiji has stressed that the removal of the Data Bureau is not a get-out-of-jail-free card for debtors. Farzana Nisha reports.
The Fair Reporting Credit Act has cleared the credit history of individuals, but that doesn't mean that consumer loans have been wiped out.
There are two different things. One is when you take a loan, everything else in relation to the loan is with the financial institution. They have a record, and that is guided by the Consumer Credit Act that is in place. So it is the Consumer Credit Act that will guide the banks in regards to the loan the person has taken.
Consumer Council Chief Executive Pramila Kumar says despite the removal of the Data Bureau's historical records, banks and other lending institutions still have their own records.
Do remember that the application form that one has to fill, one has to disclose all the information. Disclosure is required. As a consumer, you can't lie. You got to inform the bank where your loans are.
Data Bureau Chair Gary Callahan says the removal of credit history will mean people having to go through more cumbersome processes to get loans approved. Callahan adds that interest rates may also go up due to the increased risk factors. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
We're now joined Farzana Nisha live. Farzana, Data Bureau is denying claims that it was abusing the credit information of consumers. What more can you tell us?
Yes, Amrita. The Data Bureau says it's a service provider to the finance industry and its members only. Bureau Chair Gary Callahan says other than providing the personal credit reports to consumers on request, they have never had any dealings with the public. Also, he says their customers are companies engaged in providing credit, not the general public. Amrita.
Coming up on FBC News, fighting to reduce diabetes. And acute kava shortage worries vendors in Suva. Stay with us.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Ganyatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Welcome back. You're with FBC News. Now, the Employment Ministry is awaiting a detailed investigation report on the safety of the Manohan building in Wainivula, Nasinu. Minister Semi Corey Lavisau has confirmed the building has been deemed unsafe and the result of the investigations will determine its future. Savara Tambua has more.
The Ministry of Employment and Industrial Relations is now trying to find out why cracks are appearing in this building, which was completed in 2005.
It's a lot of technical details that is required to be investigated and provided. But from the government, basically all necessary proof that it is safe for the building to be occupied, then we will give a clear for it to be tenanted again.
Mr. Semi Corey Lavisau says the investigations involve a number of experts, architects, building designers, consultants and geotechnical engineers. Until the matter is resolved, Manohan building will remain closed. The Ward Authority has had to find temporary office space for its headquarters and many back office operations. Chief Executive Officer Opete Ravai says services won't be affected.
The biggest challenge we face in any move like this is, our equipment. But the way we've arranged our IT is that we'll continue to operate until the switchover will happen sometime in the future. Right now, the key is getting confirmed accommodation from the various places we visited.
The Water Authority call center is operating out of Wailoku while customer service are running in the second floor car park under these tents next to the closed office building. Saboy Ratambua, FBC News.
Fiji is taking progressive steps in forging strong relations with its PACER plus big brothers in the region. Minister for Trade and Industry Fayaz Koya held a closed-door meeting with New Zealand counterpart Todd Macleay in Nandi yesterday. Madhu Tamana with this report.
It's a revival of Fiji's trade and economic relations with traditional trading partners.
I think the basic conversation was really about PACER Plus and how we can move forward. There are certain issues that we have with respect to what we've put on the table and the things that we need to address, and market access stuff, and also about infant industry.
While the minister didn't elaborate on the finer details of the closed-door meeting, he says the government's aspirations are that the Pacific Agreement on closer economic relations will focus more on development and less on free trade.
What it is we really, ideally, generally speaking, are asking them to look at the agreement as a development-based agreement. You can't treat it as a traditional free trade agreement, and you have to put that into perspective with all the kinds of development that we want to do and how we want to grow. There are specific things to us that need to be addressed.
Executives from both governments will meet in the coming weeks to patch up estranged relations between Fiji and PACER Plus countries.
I never give it a time frame, but as I said, both the sets of officials are going to be hard at work in the next couple of weeks to see if we can resolve as much as we can. There are a couple of issues that really need. We've raised all our concerns, and our technical officials are very good at what they do, and they've raised it at the technical level meetings.
Koya also says that participating in the PACER Plus negotiation doesn't affect existing trade agreements such as Patika, and that the groundwork this week will go a long way in forging stronger relations with New Zealand and Australia. Madhu Tamana, FBC News.
The shortage of kava is getting worse, with vendors unable to meet the demand of consumers. Kelly Vadala spoke to a number of traders in Suva who say there is very little supply left to go around.
The consumption of kava has been at an all-time high lately, with sales running into the millions. But farms are running short due to cyclone damage.
There is a shortage just because of the cyclone incident, and the Coral Island are providing very less kava now. Levuka is very less. The kava is only coming from Kandavu, and it's pretty high. The price is pretty high. This time there is no kava, less kava.
Ritesh Kumar relied heavily on kava grown on Coral Island, which has lost 100% of its produce.
Kava is short because since Winston until before last week, it has been raining. Farmers did not harvest the crop, and Coral is really destroyed. And then it was a major supply for the kava. If you're going to do your one more thing or anything, if you don't have kava, nobody is going to come to your place. That's why demand is high, like it's our own use.
Families who run small kava businesses from home have also felt the effects of the kava shortage.
I come and buy kava in the market every week. I used to buy 7 kg, 8 kg and even 12 kg, but now I am just buying 4 kg and 3 kg of kava because it's expensive. There is also a shortage because of the cyclone as well.
Kava is a near daily beverage for many Fijians that can be drank casually from a communal bowl. It is also used as a symbol to bring two groups of people together in a ceremonial event. With a shortage of kava in the market, it is expected to affect these areas. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Early screening and detection can help reduce diabetes. This was highlighted by the Health Minister Chone Usamate while marking World Health Beat Diabetes Day. Sainia Nimboila reports.
Diabetes has been a leading cause of death in Fiji for a number of years, and Health Minister Chone Usamate says there will be a little change unless people take responsibility.
Our focus is ultimately to make sure that people have healthy lives. We try to stop people from getting diabetes, but even if they get diabetic, if they're screened early, help them manage it, so even if they have it, they can still have a productive life. And all of our efforts, all of our focus on this.
Diabetes is regarded as a lifestyle disease, meaning that a proper diet, exercise and avoiding junk food are preventative measures. Diwan Chand, a retired school principal, has had diabetes for almost 20 years, says early intervention is vital in order to have any positive impact.
Most people would refuse to believe that they have diabetes. See, even I reacted and overreacted because I was an active man, that I have diabetes. But then one has to realize the reality that one can develop disease. And then once you learn that, you must stop. You've got to change the direction of your life. You have to think, you have to read, and change the direction in terms of who you associate with, what you eat, what you drink. You have to make some sacrifices. Without having the willpower to make sacrifice, if you can't learn to say no, then you have lost the battle already.
The Health Ministry has set up peer groups using the experiences of people with diabetes to spread the message and create awareness about the need for healthy living. Sainian Imbuela, FBC News.
Sports is up next, and here's Rohit with the latest.
Good evening. After the break, Patrick Osborne to be part of the Flying Fijians, and Suva Netball start their campaign tomorrow. This and more coming up.
Untuk talita kana warong na Bula FM number 2 na sir. Bula na Fiji, nada ko plasyo matayri, ngon may nanan bulo tabiuni, au sa tungay nandi, ando talita ina warong na Bula FM.
Bula FM number 2 na sir.
Fiji-born Patrick Osborne is the latest inclusion in the 54-member Vodafone Flying Fijian squad for the upcoming 2016 June Test Series. As reported earlier by FBC Sports, Flying Fijians coach John McKee has welcomed the inclusion of the elusive Super Rugby Highlanders wing into the national team. The former Genera and college student will give McKee more options as the team will also prepare for the World Cup qualifiers. Osborne came very close to the All Black selection in 2014 and 2015 on the back of his form with the Highlanders. The Vodafone Fiji 7 side will have a lot to play for in the European leg this month. The team is out to defend the 7th World Series title and secure the top seed in the Olympic Games in August. Pashnil Prasad reports.
The first step for Fiji 7 side to the Olympic gold is defending the 7th World Series title, which means an easy pull at the Rio Games.
That's what we want. Winning Paris will give us the title, and it will also give us a number 1 seed to the Olympic, and that's what we want. We want to end our season on a high note.
Winning the Paris Sevens is a must, but skipper Osea Kolnisau and his brigade aren't leaving London without a title win.
Last year we won the series, but we lost in London in the semi-final. Like Ben said, that this year we want to win the London Sevens. With it, lifting the trophy will make it even more sweeter.
The team was dealt a bitter blow, losing to Samoa twice in Singapore and Las Vegas, a lesson that hasn't been lost on any players.
Samoa has a history of beating us in the pool game. That will not stop us in Paris. We'll give them a run for their money for this team. And yeah, all the team are hard nowadays.
The hopes of the nation rest on these boys. A truly historic year for Sevens, a first year back-to-back victory for Fiji, and the best chance we have ever had of winning gold at the Olympics. Pashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Nandi football side is aware that it needs to beat Lautoka on Sunday if it's to have a good chance of defending the Vodafone Premier League title. The Jet Setters are having to deal with some hiccups during preparations, but are confident that come game day, they will be ready to take on the Blues.
Pick him out here, it's flicked on helpfully, and a chance.
After a disappointing performance at the Oceania Champions League last month, the Jet Setters now turn to the National League. Having started preparations earlier this week, President Navnida Gounder knows playing the Sugar City side won't be easy.
After our league, we did not train, to be honest. We started training on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on. Then we'll face Lautoka. That's our week of training only. That's what I've said in the first, that Lautoka is a very strong side. And any team on the points table is high, they'll definitely want to win.
The Green Machine will be fielding some new players, with key players missing this week's game.
At the moment, Nandi is going without this game without 6 of their regular players. We have lost 4 players, gone to other districts, and 2 are with the Fiji team.
The match kicks off at 3 p.m. on Sunday at Nandi's Prince Charles Park.
Vodafone Fiji Under-23 coach Frank Farina says results in the current Brazil tour will not affect the morale of his side in preparations for the Rio Olympics. Fiji has lost 3 matches so far on the tour, scoring twice and conceding 10 goals. Farina says there were hiccups before the tour and his team is playing teams who play different style of football.
You know, as I said, this is still the preparation stage. You know, unfortunately, with all the happenings in Fiji, they didn't play a lot of football before they left, and it's a different level of football here. You know, you're playing against teams that keep possession of the ball well, and you spend large time defending if you can't keep the ball yourself. Whereas in Fiji, they can get away with it.
The Fijians play their last match tomorrow before returning. The Suva Netball Association start their 2016 season tomorrow with a knockout competition. The seedings in the knockout competition will then be used to place teams for the Proper League competition, which starts next week. Association President Vasiti Bungakoto says they are expecting close to 30 teams to turn up.
This is where we will be able to seed the clubs in grades, and then we will carry forward from that for the weekly competition. And this year we're wanting to start the season with a blast.
The knockout competition begins at 10 a.m. at the National Netball Centre in Suva. Tinbandu Primary School Year 7 student Rudra Prasad says his future in chess looks bright. Prasad, who won the intermediate division of the Muhammad Badsha Memorial Open Chess Championship in Suva earlier this week, is happy with his performance but says he is also learning from the more experienced players.
I like the way people play. It's very challenging to play other people. My chances are quite high, but these big boys are also quite good. For example, Minash, Russell, Zenborg.
Prasad is one of the top bets to be named in the Fiji team to take part in the World Chess Olympiad in Azerbaijan later in the year. And that's it from sports today. It's back to Amrita for business.
Fiji Broadcasting Corporation will hold its annual open day tomorrow. Chief Executive Officer Riaz Syed Qayyum says it provides the listeners and the viewers a chance to see what happens behind the doors of FBC. Syed Qayyum says this is not something to miss out on.
We have an amazing setup here. We the biggest broadcaster in the country. We're a national broadcaster. The biggest TV coverage, the biggest radio coverage. We've got 6 amazing radio stations, a really amazing TV station. So it is a time for the whole family to come down and have a look at what we do, how we do things, what work goes on behind the scenes.
The FBC Open Day will be held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. BlueScope Pacific Steel has dropped the price of its steel products by $100 per ton for a 3-month period despite the increase in world price of steel. BlueScope Pacific Steel has introduced this scheme with the view to helping supplement the TC Winston recovery efforts. The company says it hopes this initiative will assist the government in helping families who have been adversely affected by the tropical cyclone Winston. Fine weather prevailed over the country today. We take a look at the temperatures, and it was yet another hot day with Lambasa topping on 32 degrees. Ba followed on 31, while Suva and Lautoka were on 30. Nandi and Savusavu ended the day on 29 degrees. Now tomorrow, cloudy periods with brief showers about the eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands are expected. Fine, apart from isolated or afternoon or evening showers are expected elsewhere. The outlook for Sunday is for brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, it should be mainly fine. Recapping our main stories, Nandi Airport Modernisation Project exceeds budget by $20 million. Prime Minister pays a surprise visit to applicants for Help a Home initiative. And Trade Minister Fayaz Koya holds Pacer Plus talks with New Zealand counterpart. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. And we move on to this week's poll question. Is it right for SADELPA to try and bring back the GCC? To answer, visit our FBC website. You can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.
आपको खरगंगा की रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाटोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी, हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब वतन में कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।